Hi everyone, I welcome you one and all for this technical session. The session topic is mechatronics and its code 15ME 54T. This is the subject you are studying in 5th semester mechanical engineering. First, we move to overview of this session. Let us all understand the background of mechatronic system first. Yes, you need to know why this subject is most important and why you need to study this. Yes, you know already the world is running behind digital and automatic system. Use of automatic systems are very common in day-to-day life everywhere, starting from your household applications to different industrial applications. You take an example of your household applications like refrigerators, air conditioning systems, automatic washing machines, and automatic water well controller, etc. etc. And even if you move to an industry, especially machine tool industry, automobile industry, mining industry, process industries like paper industries, sugar industries, and mineral industries, mining industry, and etc. and etc. Even it includes aerospace industries, aeronautical industry, etc. In all the engineering fields and even in general applications, use of mechatronic systems are very common. These mechatronic systems generally we used to refer as automatic system. Here, the microprocessor is the one which actually works like a brain to control the entire functionalities of the system. As you know already how our brain controls our entire organs of the body, similar way the microprocessor is the one which actually controls the entire activities of the system that made the system automatic. To understand this subject, so you need to have at least the basics of electronics, electrical, computer engineering. You already studied these things in your earlier semesters. In the first or second semester, you already learned basics of electrical and electronics, and in third and fourth, maybe you already learned manufacturing subjects like manufacturing technology, etc. Making use of these subject knowledge, you try to understand this subject effectively so that you can design and develop an automatic system as well as even you do service and maintenance in future days of time. Next, let us understand how this system is evolved. Look at these diagrams. I have taken a lathe as an example to explain this evolution of mechatronic system. In the first diagram, you can see a foot-driven lathe. This is the first lathe is been designed by a mechanical design engineers. Here, the workpiece is being held in a work holding device, and this is being rotated with the help of a foot-driven or a hand-driven mechanical mechanism. So with this they are able to get a different shaped workpieces or products. Here production and accuracy is not much concerned. I think you would have seen in most of the ancient temples the pillars are being turned with the help of these kind of mechanical mechanisms. Even in the olden days, 400 or even 500 or 800 years ago. So next, this system has or this engine, this lathe has a lot of drawbacks concerned to productions as well as even quality. So for this, engineers they revised this and they introduced an electrical drives to rotate the workpiece or to rotate the tool so that you are able to get more speeds and you are able from that you are able to get good quality products as well as you can improve production rates. So that's where you can see engine lathe. In engine lathe, Both electrical and mechanical concepts are being introduced in order to manufacture the products. Here the slides are being generally moved manually, even settings of the tools, setting of the workpiece and inspection of the workpiece dimensions, etc. all are being done manually. But compared to the previous one, this is a little advanced so that it's given automatically the help of electrical drives. That's how actually it eases an engineers to manufacture at least some good quality products at higher production rates. Next you can see an auto lathe. This auto lathe is being called as automatic lathe. Why this is being called as automatic means, compared to your previous slide movements, tool settings, work settings, etc. Here all these things are made as automatic. Slide movements, tool movements, work movements, all the things are made as automatic with the help of mechanical systems. Generally these mechanical systems are CAM operated type. That's how, due to this automatic systems, the size of the lathe becomes huge. Since most of the mechanical mechanisms are purely a mechanical type, you can expect wear and tear in the long run. So this is actually quality concern is most important here. To avoid these limitations or drawbacks, they introduced a microprocessor control system in place of mechanical systems. So this is how it eliminates most of the mechanical mechanisms which drives the slides and other mobile parts automatically in a lathe. That's where you can see a CNC lathe. The CNC lathe is 100% controlled by a microprocessor, but the programs or the information feeding to the microprocessor is from a computer. That's why the name CNC lathe, that is computer numerically controlled lathe. That is how a manually driven lathe is being converted into engine lathe. Engine lathe is converted into auto lathe. Then auto lathe is converted into CNC lathe. This is how the system technical concepts are being introduced at various stages just by introducing or integrating different disciplines. Here it's purely mechanical mechanism, here electrical and mechanical mechanism, once again it's electrical and many mechanical mechanisms, but whereas in this case it's an integration of electrical, electronics, mechanical as well as a computer control system. That's how this is the best example of a microprocessor control system, and this is being called as a mechatronic system. Okay, this is the evolution of a mechatronic system. I think you might have understand here the importance of a mechatronic system. In the meantime, in all these three types, quality is we are referring in terms of millimeters or fractions of millimeters. The tolerances we are referred in terms of millimeters and fractions of millimeters. Whereas in a CNC system, we are talking about in terms of microns. The two is 2 or 5 microns. As you know already, 1 millimeter is equal to 1000 microns. If you are getting the product tolerance at the dimension you are measuring up to microns means you think of the quality of the products you are manufacturing in a CNC system or microprocessor control system. That's how these kind of microprocessor control systems are actually very common in almost all kinds of industries like small, medium and large scale industries. That's how in the recent times, whatever the quality of the product you can see, those are all looks like a very precision one. We call precision when we are measure the dimensions of the product in terms of microns. That's how, since use of these mechatronic systems common, naturally you can expect the quality of the good quality of the products. This is where this actually makes more competition in the market to market the products. Yeah, that's why you need to learn electrical, electronics, and computer system along with your mechanical concepts. Look at this block diagram. So from this you are able to know how mechatronic system works. This is the microprocessor system, and this is being connected by different external peripherals. It includes input devices, external memory devices, mostly control programs and other informations are stored in the memory devices, and a remote control system through which even from the remote areas, so you are able to connect it to the microprocessor to access the information. And output devices like actuators, drives, display, networking system or memory device like this. The microprocessor receives the information either from the input devices or it actually access from the memory device or from the remote devices, and it uses the control system to execute the input information. Then after execution of the information, it sends the output information to the output device so that actuators or drives or displays or starts functioning. The microprocessor will take care of the control of the entire output devices. It's a two-dimensional access you can see here. It takes the feedback once if it sends the information. So from that, according to it, all the time it refers the outputs, or it will see that one the output should be according to the input set inputs. That's how microprocessor controls the entire activities of the output system. As you know, when you are performing any work, your brain will monitoring all these things. Assume that you wanted to write one page of information, so your brain will see that one. It gives the signal to your eyes. Your eyes all keep watching that one, and the brain sends a signal to the hand, so that the hand holds the pen. Then it starts writing. When last line comes, the signal, the eyes watching that information, then it sends signal to the brain. Then brain sends a signal to your hand so that you will be closing. That is how your eyes are the sensors which watching that information. Your hands are the one it does the actual work. So this is how the brain takes the input as well as it gives the output to the hand. Okay, as well as it takes the feedback whether that page is completed or not. That's how a brain controls the output. Similar way, the microprocessor works like a brain in your electronic system and controls the output. That is how automatic systems are actually very precision. It does very precision work. So from this you are able to understand the importance of mechatronic system. Take the example of this a new built car. I think in the recent time you can see number of company cars like Hyundai, Maruti, and even Benz, etc. etc. In most of the cars, they are incorporated, introduced different sensor to measure engine temperature, engine oil level indications, pressure temperature sensors, and even they fix the touch sensor to the doors and the body of the cars, and they check that actually chassis gap, fuel sensor, and other flow control sensors, etc. etc. and they use a microcontroller, a microprocessor to control the entire functionality of the car mechanisms. And since number of sensors are being used, these sensor monitors the functions of the different mechanisms and gives the output to the microprocessor. Then microprocessor it compares the functionality according to that set values. If everything is right, it's not giving any indication. If something goes wrong, for example, if fuel level fuel level in the tank is in lower conditions, then the sensor senses at fuel level, then it gives the signal to the microprocessor, then microprocessor gives the signal to the display where you can see low fuel level, so that the driver can fill the fuel. That's how the microprocessor gives the indication to the driver, so that a driver can do the needful. That's how microprocessor controls the entire functionality of the car, so that the car can run smoothly without difficulties. That's how use of mechatronic systems. It's very common in the recent automotive, all kinds of vehicles. Yeah, these are the different sensors are being used in the mechatronic system to measure the temperatures. These sensors are of analog type or a digital type. That means some of the sensors senses the temperature and gives its output in the form of a voltage or a current. That actually we call as analog signal. And some of the sensors it senses the temperature and gives the output in the form of digital numbers, zeros and ones. This actually we call as digital numbers. That means if you are getting the output of the sensors in analog form, that is in voltage or current, we call as analog sensor. And if you are getting the output of the sensors in numbers, in digits, then that we call as digital signals. So this is how, based on the kind of problem you are solving, kind of some problem you are developing, project you are developing, these sensors have been used. These are some of the products which have been made using mechatronic system. So MCB, this one, it actually controls the current flow or voltage conditions. So whenever if these values exceeds, automatically it cut off the supply. That's how it minimizes the damage in the electrical circuits. And automatic camera, you are already used these kind of cameras and you are using it. Cameras are being used to capture the images where you can do number of settings like zooming, contrast, etc. etc. In the recent cameras, all these things been set automatically with the help of this microprocessor control systems. And you can see CCTV camera. The camera captures the images and it converts that image into a digital signal. Then that signal goes to the microprocessor. Then the microprocessor take the decision what to do after capturing the images. That's how it actually gives the security to that particular problem. Look at the different pressure sensors. These pressure sensors like thermal sensors where it measures pressures and gives the output either in analog form or digital form. And these sensors are being used to measure the pressure maybe in the fluid flow, either maybe there are number of applications you can see to measure these pressures in engineering and day-to-day fields. And this is the one area where mechatronic system is very common, that is a computer system. So here you can see a motherboard. This motherboard consists of different electronic components like resistors, capacitors, RAM, ROM. All these components are being actually connected So for that, they have developed a printed circuit. That means that's we call as printed circuit board. On a plate, there are number of copper lines are being engraved on these copper lines. These electronic components are being fixed, so that through these lines supply or information is given. So, so this motherboard connected by external peripherals. These peripherals are input and output devices. You can see hard drive. So this way actually the information stored permanently. Floppy disk, SMB is the power supply unit. It converts AC supply to DC. In DC again it split the DC value into plus or minus 3 volts, plus or minus 5 volts, plus or minus 10 or 12 volts, because there are number of components you are using in this computer system or works at different DC voltages. That's how SMPS convert that AC to DC and again split that DC value. And again you can see a RAM memory chip. This chip is used by the microprocessor to store the information temporarily, so that processor can read the information which is available here and it can write the information temporarily for future days accessing and all. And you can see a fan which actually sucks whatever the heat which is developed in the microprocessor, because all these electronic components generate the heat when functioning. So you can see a video called like this. This how the microprocessor controls the entire activities of these I/O units to process the information. It receives the information from the input devices like a keyboard or the mouse, or from the memory device, or from the networking system. Based on the information, it executes those information. For execution, it retrieves the control programs normally which are being stored in the RAM, read-only memory. So these control programs execute the input information. Based on their commands, the information executed, so that the output is goes to the different output devices. Either it may be a monitor, or it may be a networking system, or it may be a memory cards, etc. Okay, this is the one example of a computer system where you can see a mechatronics. That means in this we used electrical engineering, electronics engineering, computer engineering, as well as even mechanical engineering. That's how this system is the integration of all disciplines. Look at the motherboard. We'll go in detail and you can see. So this is the area where microprocessor is being fixed, and you can see different capacitors, resistors, and ROM, read-only memory, and you can see a RAM slot where a random access memory, RAM stands for random access memory, that's been going to be hold in these slots. And you can see a provision has been made to introduce or fix interface cards. There are 4 to 5 slots are there where interface cards are being going to fixed. This motherboard connected by all these peripheral devices. So for that the board is being printed by copper lines, and these lines are being actually used to connect the different components through which communication or even power supply, DC supply is going to be given to all the components, so that the microprocessor can access to all the components and does the different functionalities. Look at the RAM, random access memory. These are all being used by the microprocessor to store the information temporarily. So here you can store the information as well as you can retrieve the information, but the information will be available in this RAM temporarily. Whenever a power switched off, automatically the information goes off. These are all different ROMs, read-only memory devices. So here control programs are being stored permanently. These control programs are being written by the manufacturers or fabricators, and microprocessor uses, so whatever the control programs available in these things, and these control programs, so these ROMs have control programs for perform at different functionalities, like there are ROMs which are stores logical programs so that it does logical work. There are ROMs which actually stores perform arithmetical work so that it does arithmetical work. So like this, different ROMs or different control programs, so that microprocessor can make use of these control programs to perform either logical function works or arithmetical works. We call these ROM chips. So bus structure, this is one important terminology we use in the mechatronic system. That means, as I told you already, printed circuit board, printed circuit. So on a plate, copper lines are being actually engraved. This is one technology that is being used, so that on these lines the components are going to be fixed. This actually eliminates the hardwired connections on the board. So I think you just imagine if you have 1,000 components which are going to be used for this system. So definitely connecting through wires, it's a highly difficult task. It's totally confusing one. So for that they developed this technology, printed circuit board technology, where we can see copper lines on which the components are going to be fixed. So these lines, through these lines, sometimes you can expect that the data is going to be transferred up to interface cards. This is another important peripheral device which is going to be fixed between microprocessor and I/O devices. Look at this. You can see ports where input and output device are being connected, and this is connected to the microprocessor through bus. So the interface cards acts as a mediator between the microprocessor and the external input and output devices. Whenever a microprocessor wants to wants information from the input devices, so that time it sends the signal to this interface device, so that interface device will check are there any input values available for execution. As soon as it actually receives the information from the input devices, those input informations are going to be corrected here. We call as conditioned, because microprocessor works at a higher speed, higher word length, and in a digital form. The signals coming from the input devices may not suit to that the specifications of the microprocessor. So these interface cards stores that information temporarily in the memories, and it conditions, then it's sent to the microprocessor so that the microprocessor can receive it and execute it. Similar way, after execution, it has to send those signals to the output devices. Doing so, again those information comes in the interface memory, and again further it is going to be conditioned, because the output devices specifications not matching with the microprocessor. So the information sent by the microprocessor of higher word length or of digital format at different voltages. So we don't know whether the output device matches the same specification to transfer the information. So the interface devices converts those information to suitable form so that it can move to the output devices without much difficulty. That's how interface cards are actually must in a mechatronic system to connect different input and output devices, because the system uses thousands together sensors, the system uses hundreds together outputs, so that all these things are going to be conditioned. So that's how these interface cards are acts as a mediator. Look at these hard disks are being used to store the information permanently. So this consists of number of DVDs, and they use optical technology, that is a laser technology, to write as well as read the information. So in the recent time, we are referring this memory in terms of gigabytes. As you know, 1 megabyte is equal to 1024 bytes, and 1 gigabyte is equal to 1024 megabytes, and 1 terabyte is equal to 1024 megabytes, sorry, gigabytes. That's how the memory is increased drastically in recent times. This is one beautiful application of a mechatronic system where the entire shop is being made automatic. So for that, a pre-programmed logic controls are being used, and these programs are going to be fed to the microprocessor, and the microprocessor send the signal to the different devices in the shop, maybe machine tools, CNC machine tools, or maybe robots which are being used to pick and place the work, or a semi-finished product, or a product, and a conveyor system, etc., etc., and even inspection systems. All these things are going to be controlled with the help of a pre-programmed logic control system, and this is being called as actually a PLC. The entire controlling or functions of the shop is controlled by a set of programs, and these programs are being executed in a microprocessor. That's how microprocessor taking care of the entire activities or functionality of the system. So to do so, it does the work concurrently, or it may be sometime the sequence. Just imagine the entire shop, you can see only one person is just monitoring or inspecting the systems. It's unimaginable sometimes. The entire shop is run by maybe hardly 10 members or 20 members. That is the beauty of use of mechatronic systems in the recent time. Yeah, this is one you might have already seen in if you are moved on the highways, national highways, tolls where they collect the money. So because the most of the national highways are maintained by private agencies. This is a bar. It's driven by electric motor, and this bar has a number of sensors to sense the vehicle. So whenever a vehicle comes nearby this bar, so the sensor senses that vehicle, and then it sends the signal to the microprocessor. Then microprocessor checks that whether this car is been already registered, or whether they are prepaid the money. So if not, they ask for the money. As soon as they receive the money, the microprocessor send a signal to the bar, so that sorry, motor, so that bar is going to be open. Sometimes cards are being used, magnetic cards are being used. So when you insert a card, the microprocessor receive that input value or a currency, then automatically it opens the bar. That's how. So road barriers are controlled by microprocessor. This I think you might have seen in the recent time. Even the prepaid currency chips are being used in the cars. Whenever a car comes nearby the or any vehicle comes nearby the bar, so the currency, the money is being cut or deducted, so that automatically the microprocessor opens the bar automatically. This is how it eases the movement. This is the microcontroller system. So compared to the general computer system, this is a very portable type. The computer system is been generally made to perform general applications, whereas microcontroller system is been designed to perform a specific task. For example, to detect fire and to detect fire, they developed a microcontroller system. Engineers developed a microcontroller system where they used different smoke detector sensors. They use a small memory chip. They use small microprocessor and even a small display or alarming unit. So a microprocessor should have some control programs, and those programs are going to be fed through this computer. That's how a small chip or a small card can control the smoke in a building or in a house, etc. So that's how microcontrollers looks like a computer system, but it does only one or two tasks. That's how this is very portable type. Even this microcontroller system have a memory device, a output device, input device, and a ports are been made for accessing the information to the external systems like a computer. This is one example of a robo usage of robo, especially in engine assembly. These robots perform different applications like fastening and even drilling and even for filing of the fault and even to join the component or to couple the component like this. So these holders arm clippers you can call as. Clippers have different tools, so with the help of those tools, it does the work like a human being. So this is how robots are actually very common in assembly of different components in auto industries, machine tool industries, and even process industries. Yeah, this door looks like a human being, and these kinds have been designed recently. These robots does work like a human being to carry out the things from one point to another point. This is one another area where mechatronic systems are being used. So that is a space shuttle vehicles where the entire functionality of the system is being controlled by the microprocessor. This space shuttle vehicle consists of a huge number of sensory devices and in sophisticated control systems, so that the entire activities are going to be controlled with the help of microprocessor. Yeah, look at this. This is agricultural equipment and is being used to spray medicines, spray water, and this consists of a number of sensors to sense the fluid flow, as well as it senses the humidity in the conditions. Based on that one, so it sends the signal to the microprocessor, then the microprocessor functions accordingly. So this is how, yeah, use of mechatronic systems are actually even common in agricultural equipment, especially in the drip irrigation systems. They used a sensor to check out that the humidity of the water in the soil or in the weather conditions. Based on that one, a servo motors are being used, and pilot operated control valves are being used. The pump automatically starts and it supply the water to the different points, so that automatically the water is sprayed in all the areas. Okay, this is how actually technology has been used in agricultural equipments. This is one production center where you can see number of CNC machines, and these machines are being programmed to perform a specific task, and these programs are being done individually, or sometime a mastery programming or master computer systems are being used to feed the programs or information to all the devices of the shops. That's where you can understand direct numerically controlled systems. In a CNC system, there is it's a one machine tool which is controlled by a computer. In a DNC, direct numerical control system, where you can see all the CNC machine controls are by a master computer system. So here the entire programs and the executions and the sequencing all are being controlled by a master computer, so or a master microprocessor. That's how you can see the controlling of the entire activities of the production center. Yeah, so from this actually you can see there is no what you call the presence of human being, especially in these areas. This automation transfer line where actually you can see number of conveyor systems where the raw, semi-finished and finished products are going to be carried out from one point to another point, and a number of operations are going to be performed at different levels, and positioning and performing different operations and all are being actually controlled by a master computer. These are actually transfer lines are actually very much useful, especially when you go for a mass production where you are manufacturing the products continuously without much change in the designs. All 365 days you are performing a similar kind of operations. That's where these automation transfer lines are very much useful. So in these lines, even inspection are being done to identify the malfunctions. If any products are have change in the dimension or required dimensions and are going to be picked by a different robot systems or actuating system. That's why even the online inspection is also be done in the transfer line. So like this, there are number of facilities are being made to check or to transfer the items from one point to another point. This is the best example of use of mechatronic systems. Look at this remote control flight. So here the teach patent is being used to control the different functionalities. Okay, this is actually looks like your TV remote. In that remote, I think you might have seen 50 numbers of options, like changing the volume, changing the changing of channels, contrast, etc. and etc. Similar way, this teach patent has a number of functionality based on that. So the flight movement are going to be carried out. This is a control room of a thermal plant where the entire plant is being controlled by this microprocessor system. The plant has a number of sensory devices. Maybe the sensors being used in at different places of the turbines, reactors, flow pipes, control valves, etc. and etc. So the microprocessor get the information from a different sensory devices. Based on those sensory inputs, it verifies the conditions. So then it takes the corrective actions. So this control room gives the current status of the equipments and machineries which are being used. So The mechatronic system gives the outputs so that a corrective actions are being made by the maintenance crew. That's how this use of mechatronic systems made life easy, especially a huge thermal plants. This is another a security system made use by these mechatronic systems. Number of CCTV cameras are being used at different places. Cameras capture the movements of the persons. So from this they are able to check the security failures and take the corrective actions. And this is another mechatronics applications where automatic door opening and closing are being made, and these kinds actually you can see in malls, theaters and big showrooms, where whenever a person moved nearby the gates, so automatically it opens. So whenever he crosses or passes, then it closes. Like this, automatic opening and closing is being done with the help of mechatronic system. I think even you might have seen in ATMs. In ATMs, whenever you move in front of the ATM front door, it opens. As soon as you passes inside, it closes. After performing your work, and you can press the button and you can come back. So like this, automatic door opening and closing is another system which is developed by mechatronic system. So this is how actually it eliminates the different security persons. This is one application of mechatronic system in automatic washing machine. In automatic washing machines, there are a number of facilities to set the temperatures, set the speeds, and set the kind of clothes you are washing it for. It controls the turbine speed, it controls the fluid flow, it controls the temperature. For all is controlling, so there are a number of control programs which are being stored in the RAM. The microprocessor receives those control programs, and based on the input values, input sensors, it does the work. So that's how automatic washing is being done with the help of microcontrol systems. I think you can see that openness of this, where you can see a turbine and other features of this. So water level controller. So this is one another application of mechatronic system where a number of sensors are being used in the sump as well as even in the tank. So whenever water level falls in the overhead tank, the signals go to motor microprocessor. Then microprocessor signals sends the signal to the motor. Then motor will automatic motor or pump. Then pump will switch on. While doing so, it checks whether the water level, sufficient water level available in the sump or not. Based on the level conditions, the microprocessor send the signal to the pump so that pump switch on. So as and when the water level in the tank fills, the top level sensor send the signal to the microprocessor so that the microprocessor sends a signal to the motor for switching it off. Okay, that's how water level is going to be controlled with the help of this microprocessor system or a mechatronic system. These are the different components which are being, actuators which are being used in a mechatronic system as outboard drives, because these electrical drives are actually must, especially in the mechatronic systems, to carry out different functions. These are all the different applications of mechatronic systems like automatic cooling systems, computers, laptops, and you can see car, and you can see bomber vehicle, and high-speed trains, and MEMS technology components, and even automatic camera. These are all the different components which are being manufactured with the help of mechatronic system. Yeah, so with this actually you got some idea about mechatronic system, and I think you can cross check or verify yourself how the technology is being moved from conventional to advanced stages. So in almost all the examples what you have seen where mechatronic systems are being used, and it's been actually integrated by different disciplines. So this gives you clear idea about whether you need to learn more about basics of electrical, electronics or computers or not. And you can check few videos, so you can have a look of these things so that you can understand more about mechatronic systems.
Star 68.
In search of a different systems. Again, there are different systems which carry out these two another place. Actuator it actually actuates so that it moves the components to place. This is the advancement that we can see in the research. Beyond manual intervention in all the places, the entire operations are being controlled. The movement of the workpiece, different operations of the device, etc. etc. You can see one more video.
हमने तुमको देखा तुमने
They can either do an envelopment or
This is used for applications.
the fingers will have to end up barrel over each other. They've got combination of sheet. It's easy, but it's written sure. The same broker could do a variety of objects. Other we're doing things different applications. And the same broker is used for
How we can understand the use of industrial
I'm an immediate fan.
Oh yeah?
Absolutely amazing.
Of me or
Of you, yeah.
Okay, great. Can I
as-
answer any questions for you?
We do group of technology as well.
Okay, where are you from?
From Zimmer.
Great, okay.
And
actually how
how you doing?
there are some systems that is being used in the industries. It's all different functionality according to the client. So you can refer any for any mechatronics information the subject mechatronics text written by W. Bolton, and even you can refer to Google or YouTube for different materials. To check the overview of this session, on completion of this session, I think you will come to know why actually you need to study mechatronic systems, especially in an engineering as an engineering student, and how mechatronics works and its major components, and how mechatronic system is evolved, and you might have seen different mechatronic systems in a different fields. So that gives you an idea how this technology is developed so advanced, so that it eases the human being to perform different tasks at the easiest without much efforts. Okay, so that's how you try to understand mechatronics more and more and try to be familiar in this mechatronics in your studies. Thank you very much for your patient listening.